That metal interview.
We welcome you to a new year, 2022, and we kick off a brand new year here. And we're almost at the end of the second season here for the people keeping up with our podcast, That Metal Interview. Thank you guys for supporting us. And today we have a very special guest again, Magnus Karlsson, all the way from Europe. He swings by and talks to us about his latest project. Well, it's one of the projects, I should say this is the third album from the FERRYMEN. The FERRYMEN is the band I'm talking about, which is Mr. Magnus Karlsson. I would say he's the mastermind behind the FERRYMEN. And we got on drums Mr. Mike Tirana, and lead vocals Mr. Ronnie Romero, very well known for singing with Richie Blackmore's Rainbow. And you guys got to check that out. We're here to talk about Mr. Magnus Karlsson and the latest album he's promoting, the FERRYMEN, an album by the name of One More River to Cross, which is coming out here in January. The CD might be out by the time you hear this interview, or it might not. It'll be out January 21st. So anyways, let's check out the FERRYMEN's latest single. The Last Wave is the latest single and video. Let's check it out. The FERRYMEN. We'll be right back.
Close to give up every new day.
I'll tell you, this guy is a talent. He is not from this earth, Mr. Magnus Karlsson, that is, and he also has other projects, other bands that you guys might be interested in researching and checking out, man. He has a band called Free Fall, Magnus Karlsson's Free Fall, that is. He has Planet Alliance, he has Primal Fear, and another band that I really, really love and dig, Starbreaker. Starbreaker, you got to check it out, man. He does some stuff with Tony Harnell from TNT. You got to check that out, man. That's one of my favorite albums, the latest one. And also he has the Codex, he has the Ferrymen, and he's done Kiske Somerville, and he's done some stuff with Annette Olsen, and Alan Olsen is another project of his. And great talent, man. I think he's under the radar, and he is a very talented person, man. He plays guitar, bass, he plays some keyboards as he talks to us. Anyways, let's go directly to the interview with Mr. Magnus Karlsson. Enjoy. Album number 3 of the Ferrymen, One More River to Cross, coming out on the 21st. This is in a couple of weeks. Frontiers Music. Who wrote the riffs and lyrics and the arrangement to all this stuff on Ferrymen? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I wrote it all. So both music and lyrics, and did all the arrangement and stuff. But when I'm working on the demos here and I send it out to Ronnie and Mike, I also tell them that they can feel free and do their thing, so they add their vibe to it as well. But I'm the writer, absolutely.
You're the mastermind behind it.
Yeah, I don't know if you can call it mastermind, because if I didn't have Ronnie's vocals or Mike's drumming, it wouldn't be anything. So,
right. So my next question was was it arranged through emails, or was it arranged in person? Old school in a room. Yeah.
No, it was with on the internet, sending files and in that kind of way. And I work like that for maybe 20 years now, and a lot of the bands, it's not often we meet when we record, because the guys have a great studios and we are living all over the world. Now with Ferrymen, I think Mike, he recorded his stuff in Italy, and Ronnie was in Bulgaria, and I'm here in Sweden. So it was all over Europe. And I know that some people think it's strange and they want to go back to the old school, sitting in the studio together. And I mean, it's great to meet the guys, but I really like to be in my home studio. And if I wake up in the middle of the night and want to record a solo, I can do that, and I don't have the stress. When you are in a big, expensive studio, you have to be your best.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool that you have your studio at your home. You don't have to, like you said, you don't have to be following different rules or paying for the hours of recording in studio. Yeah.
No, and I can spend weeks to just
awesome
dialing in my guitar tone if I want to, and that would never happen in a big studio, because it's too expensive to be there for a long
right.
time. Yeah,
for some people don't know that. Some people just press play on Spotify and that's it. Some people don't know that it costs a lot of money to record a record.
Yeah, it's a lot of work behind the album, and but we make it because we think we love music and we love metal. So
of course, we're all metal fans, of course. So I gotta tell you, these are just awesome and beautiful melodies, man. I love the modulations.
Thank you.
I know a little bit of music, and I love what you do with these songs. When you change keys, and then return to the key, that. What inspires you to write this kind of stuff?
Yeah, the melodies always have the main focus. I want to have a great melody and great vocals, and then I have to do all the other stuff have to be around the vocals and around the melodies. So even if I'm a guitar player, I don't care much about flashy stuff on the guitar. It's cool if I can have it, but it's not important. The most important thing is to have a great song, great vocals, and a great sound. And then to have a great drums, and then last comes the guitars. Yeah. For me, I mean, I love a great guitar solo, and I love a great guitar sound and everything. But it's all about the song, and sometimes I can write a song on piano, and sometimes I'm just humming in my phone, and then I record a demo, and sometimes I start on the guitar. But it's all about the melody for me.
So you said piano. How many instruments do you play?
On this album, I play guitar, bass, and piano, the keyboard. And I'm not good enough on drums, so I can't do that.
Yeah.
But I play actually banjo as well, some stuff, but not on the album.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I think I did it on some old album with my old band, Last Tribe. I did some banjo on that album. But yeah, I played a lot of folk music before, Irish folk music. So I have some of that stuff too.
Wow, really?
But guitar is my main instrument.
That's your main.
I practice.
Wow. Well, you're great. You're great at the guitar. You're awesome. I play some guitar myself, and I can tell when somebody is great and somebody is not great.
Okay.
You're awesome, of course. So at what age did you pick up a guitar? Were you a small kid? Or?
Yeah. I started. If you would ask me, 20 years. Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah. If you would ask me 20 years ago, I would be. I'm a guitar player, but now I would call myself more a songwriter, producer, because that's the main thing I'm doing.
Oh, okay. At what age did you start playing guitar?
I think I was around 7, 8, something. I got my first guitars. I tried to learn, and then I got a teacher when I was maybe 10 or something. And I started my first band, I think the same time I got the first guitar. I tried to start a band, and I started very early. And so I've always been writing songs and played guitar since I was a kid. Yeah,
so you can say you were born to do this, for sure, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I always liked it. I never enjoyed to play covers, other songs.
Yeah.
I didn't play a lot of that. So, right away, I wanted to do my own stuff. That felt important.
Yeah. So what's on your playlist? What do you listen to? What goes through your mind?
What I listen to? I listen a lot to soundtracks, film music and stuff. And
there you go. Yeah.
And also I listen a lot to a bit harder metal. Let's see here. I have my playlist in front of me. I listen to melodic death metal, you could say, like Arch Enemy and Amorphis.
Awesome, yeah.
A band I discovered a month ago or something is, I don't know how big they are, but they're called Hakiri for the Sky. That's really,
okay.
They have some really, really cool stuff. Great melodies, but it's still, some kind of death metal with, screaming vocals and that stuff. But yeah, and lately I started listening also to some, Norwegian black metal and that kind of stuff. They have some interesting things going on.
Wow! So your mind is in different places. That's cool. I'm kind of the same way. Except for the soundtracks part, I don't really listen to soundtracks, but that kind of explains a little bit what some of your songs kind of sound like a movie. Some of your songs, badass.
Yeah. I'm very impressed with a lot of the Hans Zimmer and those guys that mix symphony orchestra with other instruments and to mix symphony with metal. I really love it. I like to make it big and epic. So.
Yeah, very cool. You're doing a great job doing that. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot.
So what's your favorite song on this new Ferrymen record?
It is always hard to tell, but I think I like the title track. One More River to Cross, and one song that I really enjoy listening to is Morning Star, and that's a lot because I think that Ronnie really sounds better than ever. He always sounds great, but that song he's really singing his heart out. And
it has never been so dark. I have never
it sounds really awesome.
Man, what an incredible singer right there. Speaking of Ronnie, and
Yeah, he's
wow,
amazing.
what a coincidence. He has Ronnie James Dio's first name also.
Yeah, that's strange, and I don't know. Maybe he's tired of being compared, because
Yeah,
even if you are compared with the best, and of course no one can be like Ronnie James Dio,
Of course.
and Ronnie, he's his own. But if someone is great at something, we all want to compare always.
right.
And I remember when I started playing guitar in my first band that released album, everyone was comparing me to Yngwie Malmsteen, and I thought, wow, yeah, he's great, but I don't sound like him at all. But just because I'm playing guitar and I play fast, everybody wants to compare. So
Yeah, you got
but he's just fantastic. I saw him with Richie Blackmore and Rainbow here in Sweden, and to sing all these songs with the different singers from the different albums.
Yeah.
And totally relaxed. 5 minutes after the show, I met him backstage, and he was talking like he was having laundry day or something. It was totally, it was like nothing. I would be, very nervous, and
I would be sweating away. Like, damn, you got to cover different singers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big job. I don't know many guys in the world that can handle all these different singers.
Yeah, that's for sure. You got to cover Ronnie. You got to cover a little bit of Jolyn Turner. There's different ones, different people.
Yeah, and they played Deep Purple, a couple of Deep Purple songs, and
wow.
Yeah, so that's a hard job. It's not many singers that want to have that. and then at the same time, everybody's comparing. Oh, he didn't do it exactly the same way.
Yeah.
But of course, it's another guy. So.
But if there's somebody that can cover and pull that off, that's him right there. Ronnie can do that.
Yeah.
So congrats on that. Congrats on that.
Yeah.
So how did you get together with this lineup with Mike on drums and Ronnie?
Yeah, it was like this. I'm working a lot for the record company Frontiers Records, and they have a lot of ideas and projects and bands and stuff. Yeah. And they asked me if I wanted to do something with Ronnie, and I heard him with Rainbow, and I also heard some stuff on YouTube, and I really loved his voice, and I said, yeah, of course I want to do something. And then we needed a drummer, and I asked Ronnie if you could choose one. Who would you choose? And he said Mike Tarana. Okay, I don't know him, but let's try and ask. And it took a while because he was away on tour in China or something. But finally, I could ask him, and he said, "Yeah, that's a great idea. I want to try." And then we had a drummer.
Wow, awesome drummer. Awesome. Mike's great. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
So, if you guys were to play live, who would you choose to play bass?
Yeah, I had another interview when he suggested that Ronnie should play the bass too. But I know maybe it's better to have a bass player.
Yeah.
Actually, when we recorded the first album, there was a lot of guys asking, you don't have a bass player? So we have some great options if we want to play live and have a bass player, but I'm not sure. I have to think about it. Maybe you have a suggestion.
Right. Well, I play bass, so I can play bass.
Okay, great. That's fixed.
Where do we audition? So, changing bands here. I want to thank you for inventing Starbreaker. I love the album, Dysphoria, man. It's just awesome material. Tony Harnell, Wild Butterflies, cool. One of my favorite songs. So. Who wrote all this music for Starbreaker?
Yeah, Starbreaker. We wrote it together, me and Tony. So I write some, tracks, and he come up with some lyrics and melodies, and then he send it back, and then maybe we change something, and so we even if he's in the States and I'm here in Sweden, we write together. and he's a bit different. He's not that power metal guy really. He want to write more. I don't know what to call it, but it's still metal, or at least hard rock, I would say. But it's in his style, and that's cool. He's also a fantastic singer, very special voice. And I love the TNT stuff too. He did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. TNT, a legendary band from the 80s. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I had Tony. I interviewed Tony last year, and I asked him. I asked him about Starbreaker, this album, and I asked him who the guitar player was and the musicians were, and he mentioned you, of course, and he spoke very well of you and very highly of you, your musicianship, and a great combination there for sure. As far as us fans go, you guys did a great job.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it was really an honor to work with a guy like that. I remember when we did the first album. That was quite some years ago now.
Yeah.
And I came over to LA and we recorded a video there. And then I was a bit new to everything, so that was really cool. And it was great. And on the second album, he actually came over here to Sweden and stayed with us here for a while, and we wrote songs together. And then some years passed because he was in Skid Row for a couple of years, I think, and he was touring and something. And then finally, we did the third one.
Yeah. Awesome.
So we did 3 albums with Starbreaker.
Yeah, 3 albums.
Some years between them.
Yeah, they're all good stuff. I'm a big fan of the last one. Dysphoria, and all 3 albums are badass, of course. Good job.
Cool.
So
thanks.
let's speak Heart Healer, another incredible project here.
Who are you when no one is looking? Who are you when the curtain is falling? Will you still be the same? How can we trust you? You're a stranger from the dark. Who are you behind the mask?
Talk to us about it, and will we see another record in the future?
Yeah, that's back to my love for soundtracks and stuff. I was writing more and more, and I was into maybe I could write for a movie or something, and then I asked Frontiers. I had this idea. I just wrote an intro. I think it's the intro of the first song on the album. And then I had the idea to make a metal opera with only female singers, because most of the singers that I work with, they are male singers, and that's great. But I want to try something else too. And I remember I got an email just after 5 minutes, and then say, yes, go for it. Okay. And that was great. And I started to write, and everything was fine. And then when I came to writing the story and the lyrics and all the different parts, then I almost this maybe was too much for me to handle. But then I was happy in the end. It came out great, and but it was more work than a normal album to write. You have to think. Normally I can think, just write one song and then move on to the next song and then move on. This time I had to think about the whole album when I wrote it, and all the parts and all the singers, and some of the singers I never worked with before, so I wasn't sure could this work for them, but they were all very professional, and it worked out great in the end.
Yeah, awesome. I love that record. And so how did you choose the girls? Was it
first I had some favorites that I really wanted to work with, and then I also thought about I have to have singers that sound very different, because even if I have 7 great singers, if they sound the same, no one will understand anything. So I tried to find some, like Annette from Nightwish. He has more of pop metal voice, and Nora from Battle Beast has this really hard, raspy, powerful metal voice, and some of them sound more classical in their style, and so I think that worked out really well. But I had a long list of singers, and I was listening a lot to them and compared, and that was a lot of work, but fun.
Well, it came out badass, and yeah, it kind of sounds like a movie soundtrack, you know, which is very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that was the goal. Normally, I can just play one song from an album, but this album is meant to listen to the whole thing. It's not meant to just listen to one song. You should take some, headphones and relax and sit back with a good drink and just listen to it, the whole thing.
Wow, it's just incredible how you come up with all these ideas, you know, in the studio, and that's cool how your mind works. I'm just as a musician, I'm in awe, you know.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I don't do much of other stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I really suck at sports, and I can't fix my car or anything. But I know my way in the studio. So.
Wow, awesome. Well, you don't need sports for music.
No.
That's cool. So how about Free Fall? Awesome records for sure. I love all that stuff. I love Temples and Towers with Tony Martin. How was it working with Tony?
Yeah, that's quite special because normally I write all the stuff on those albums. That's my solo project, you could say, and with a lot of different singers, and that works great. But with Tony, and I'm a big fan of Tony Martin, listen a lot to the Black Sabbath album with him. He says if I'm gonna sing, I want to be a part of the song too and write lyrics and maybe melodies too. And I mean, I don't say no to that. He's a lot better than me on I think he's great with lyrics and melodies, and he has this special style that I really love. So that's great that he wants to do it. And so he was on the Kingdom of Rock. He did one song, and now on the last one he was on 2 songs. Yeah. And it's really an honor. I'm a big fan, and I remember I saw Black Sabbath, what was it, over 25 years ago or something with him.
The 90s,
and I could never imagine that I would, do something with him, that he would sing on my album. That's like, for some people it's maybe like being a member of Beatles or something. Yeah. For me, that's really big.
Oh yeah, I'd be nervous. I'd be melting. I'm a huge fan myself. Headless Cross and all that. I love that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the top albums in my life.
For
absolutely.
Sure. Oh, for sure. So what's next for Free Fall? For people asking.
Yeah, that's the next thing I will do now, I think. I just finished another album with Russell Allen and Annette Olson, and I'm sitting here waiting for the mix coming from that album. And then I'm hired as a guitar player on a new project that's not official yet. And that's quite kind of cool because I'm always the songwriter and producer, but now I'm just doing some guitar playing and that's great. And after that, I will start on the next Free Fall album. And I have a long list with new singers I will ask and see if they want to join.
Well, you're just a busy guy, huh? You're just, do you rest?
I tried a couple of years because I try to keep, good balance in life. Because if I work too hard, everything will explode. So a couple of years ago, I said to myself, now I really need a break. And I mean, a real break. So I finished all the albums I had signed to do. And then I said no to everything new. And so I didn't have something waiting for me. And I think after 1 or 2 weeks, I was climbing the walls and I have to do something again. So maybe I'm not meant to take it easy. I mean, if you like it and you think it's fun, then it's not hard work. Then it's just cool. I don't play golf. I rather go into the studio and write a new song.
Your journey in life is to do this. I guess this is what you're meant to do. which is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, I was such a big fan of Judas Priest, Dio, and Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, and those bands. And now that I can create something similar or in that style and work with such great musicians, I just can't get enough of that thing. I love it. If a great singer asks me to work with them, I just can turn. I have to say yes, you know.
Yeah, you're just a busy mind. Yeah, it's cool. So you have so many different projects, all badass projects for sure. There's no weak one, in my opinion, of course. When you write a song, how do you know whether it's for Free Fall or Primal Fear or Ferrymen in that case? How do you tell them apart?
Yeah, I don't save any songs or have a big collection of old songs that I didn't use for anything. I just use everything, and then when I start something new, I don't like to work at, you know, 2 albums at the same time. Sometimes I have to do it, but I prefer to have one album and then just focus on that album and write in the style that suits the album. Mm-hmm. And often it's the singer. I always have the singer in my head. For example, if I write for Ronnie, I can hear his voice in my head when I write the melodies, and everything is for him, and I try to do the melodies and the keys so it will fit him perfectly. And then I wrap it up and start the next thing. And if it's Primal Fear, that's a different sound, and I want to have that, you know, that kind of riffing. And so that's if I would do just a bunch of songs and then spread them out on different albums, then I think it would be a bit more boring.
Yeah.
And then of course it's my style, so I'm sure if you heard a lot of my projects, you can recognize. You know, I don't invent something totally new every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my taste and something that I struggle with to reach. So.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think you can hear it's me on most of the projects that I'm involved in.
Yeah, you have a certain style, but everything's different at the same time. So that's a talent right there. That's another talent in coming up with different styles and stuff. So.
I'm very happy that you say that, because sometimes when I don't know how many albums I've done, but sometimes I can feel, this sounds maybe too similar to something I did, and I'm not sure anymore. But I don't think too much about it. I just try to have fun and write stuff. And
so can you give us an update on Primal Fear?
Yeah, that's a bit sad, because I think the last album, Metal Commando, was the most successful Primal Fear album ever. Mm-hmm. And then we have COVID, and no one could tour, and the band couldn't tour for that album. And but I know that's the same for everyone in this business. But hopefully we will start on a new one. I think it's official now, but. I don't know if you read about it or heard it, but Matt Sinner, the bass player, he's been in the hospital for a while.
Hospital, yeah.
And so we haven't done anything for a while. I think Ralph has worked on some stuff, but he's getting better now. So when he's well again, I'm sure we will start to write on the next album.
I read about it.
Yeah, it's been quite sad. We wrote a lot of stuff, not just for Primal Fear. We wrote with, for Kiske, Somerville, and his own band Sinner, and a lot of stuff. So we're spending a lot of time on Skype talking about music and laughing and writing songs. So
Kiske Somerville, another more great stuff there. Kiske Somerville. Very good stuff.
Yeah, that was such a big honor, you know. I was a big Halloween fan for
Yo, yeah. Me too, yeah.
So, I had to admit, because we met, I think it was on the second album we met for doing some video. I was a bit nervous when I met Michael for the first time. But he was very, very nice, and talked about Elvis all the time. So
He's an Elvis fan.
He's a big Elvis fan.
Wow, what an honor, huh, Michael Kiske?
Yeah.
When will you tour the United States? When can we expect you over here with one of your projects?
Yeah, that would be really cool. The thing is that I'm not touring so much anymore because I don't want to be away from my family and all the studio work. But I really would love to do it. Cool to do it with HEALER, the metal opera, with a real orchestra and all the singers. That would be something.
That would be badass. Yeah, great idea. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm in Texas, so hopefully you guys can tour one day. You know, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. So, would you like to send a message to your fans listening to this podcast?
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the album, and if you think about should I listen or not, you don't want to miss one of the best singers in the world, Ronnie Romero, singing his heart out on the new FERRYMEN album.
Awesome. Thank you, Magnus. Thank you for making time. And hopefully,
thank you very much.
We'll see you on tour, and keep making badass music. You're doing a great job for us fans. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great talking to you.
Don't forget to support Mr. Magnus Karlsson's projects and bands. The latest, the FERRYMEN's third installment, third record, by the name of One More River to Cross, is about to be released, and you guys should check it out. Check out their videos for now. We got No Matter How Hard We Fall, and we got The Last Wave, and of course one called One Word. Those are the latest videos for the FERRYMEN. FERRYMEN is comprised of Magnus Karlsson, Ronnie Romero, and of course Mr. Mike Tirana on the drums. A great combination there of superheroes, if you will. So check it out, man. Be on the lookout for the latest FERRYMEN's album, One More River to Cross. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and share and like. You know the drill. Thank you for following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff. Listen to our radio station, jrocksmetalzone.com. And don't forget to keep it metal.
That metal interview.